The only thing that gets you through those tough spots, whether it's a financial tough spot or a talent tough spot or a market tough spot, is the network and the village and the people you have around you. But sometimes those friends and those people around you are the worst advisors. Your family is bad advice. I say 70% of the people I know are divorced. What is the number one thing that I think people need to do when going through tough spots in business is surround themselves with some really fucking strong people, particularly in your work environment and in just personal life.
Right.
Because the only thing that gets you through those tough spots, whether it's a financial tough spot or a talent tough spot or a market tough spot or whatever, depending on the size of your company, is the network and the village and the people you have around you. You know, we started talking about this where you said, let's talk about relationships today, right? So, yeah, I think there's a ton of things you got to do during tough spots, but one of them is have a really, really strong foundation of people around you.
And I was going to ask the same question about what do you do when you're in a tough spot in a relationship, and would I assume it's similar?
I think it's similar, yeah. I think it's similar. Like a personal relationship?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, technically it is around people, but sometimes those friends and those people around you are the worst advisors. Your family is bad advice.
Tell me more about
right? So you fight with your relationship, right? Let's say you all do. We all do, and you end up speaking to your sibling or to your best friend or your parent or whoever, a family member, and you're telling them what happened. Got in a massive fight. This is what they did. They said this. They acted this way. These things happened. And in the best interest of you, that friend, family member, person is going to start to, one, I think, preach your praise. And then it's a slippery slope for them to move into, you don't need this, and then start to call it condemn and attack the relationship. Not because of the right reasons, but because of their own personal opinions and perceptions.
Absolutely. And their need to try to protect you.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of talk with women too about the difference between when we talk about when people are boyfriend, girlfriend, and then when they become husband. So we share different things when we're in the earlier stages of a relationship.
Yeah.
It's like it's more open to discussion.
Okay.
But then once we've solidified our identity as a couple and we're married, sometimes we don't share as much because we're not wanting to be as open to the judgment that might come. And or even when you're giving advice to that person who's a wife or a significant other, you're wanting to be respectful of what they've decided the parameters of their relationship are.
You know, I think first, hopefully you're in a good relationship. I think people stay in relationships for all the wrong reasons. I think they get out of relationships for wrong reasons.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, I think it's easy to break up.
Right.
Back to life is tough, and you know, work is tough, and the world is tough, and traffic is tough. Everything we live in a stressful world, and I think that stress is also increasing because of the amount that we do. We just operate a lot faster now.
Yeah.
Right. So
and we expect ourselves to be able to do more.
And we expect to do more, and then we now we live in a world of choice, which is don't like your relationship, find a new one, right? Not happy with your relationship, find someone else who's not happy with their relationship, and you two miserable motherfuckers can get together. But back to, I see this happen all the time. I shouldn't say everyone around me, but I'm going to say in my demographic, right, the community that I live in or grew up in, schools that we went to, I'm going to say 70% of the people I know are divorced or broken up, and usually with kids too, young kids, toddlers, right? And it's fucking crazy because, our parents' generation and their generation before them, there was no such thing as divorce. There was no such thing as, you're not happy in your relationship or you're fighting or what. And truthfully, I think there's another piece of that, which is they had so much stuff to deal with externally in the outside world.
Yes.
That they weren't able to create so much call it problems and stresses and issues within their own relationships.
Well, and I think everybody's now our desire for what we want out of our life and our relationship has also increased. I think we're actually putting too much pressure on our relationship sometimes because I'm looking for you to complete me completely.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's my job to look after myself.
Yeah.
Hopefully the relationship is an addition
Yeah.
and something fun, but it's not all the pressure on it.
Yeah.
But the other thing I'll say too is that, so my parents were divorced.
Yeah.
But I think too there was also a lot of secrets in earlier generations. There was still a lot of affairs and things that were happening.
It's still happening today.
For sure, but I mean,
1,000%.
But now people are like, I actually deserve and want to be happy, so I'm going to break up my marriage so that I have the chance to go after this, not behind closed doors.
Okay, so look, let's say this: if your marriage or relationship is bad, right, and the decision is being based from a place of thought, right, which is, what do I want in my life, and does this person level me up and help me move forward, or are they bringing me back? You should end your relationship, married or not married, right? But if you've committed into this relationship and you're moving forward with it and you're hitting those patches as all relationships do, where does that line fall between, you know what, this is actually something we need to work through together as partners, versus, oh, I'm going to go find a different type of partner because the grass is greener on the other side. And that's where everything goes wrong. And I think that's one of the problems that we see in relationships today is people are too ready to quit.
Yeah.
We see this happen in jobs. We see it in corporate world. But people are willing to do this in their personal lives as well, right?
And it's that grass is greener on the other side, and that quick jump to that,
Yeah.
I agree, is a challenge. It was so funny because when we were in Chicago with one of our clients, and I remember having drinks with the crew of that particular team, and a lot of them had 15 to 30 year relationships and marriages. And when we had asked the leader what's one of the secrets, and he said good and bad years.
Yeah.
And I was like, good and bad years? He's like, sometimes it's a bad year. It's not just a bad month, it's a bad year. But you stick with it.
If the relationship is worth it, if you have a strong partner. You know, I also talk about it in relationships a lot, and we use this in corporately, but you want to play with better players. You want to surround yourself with just better players. And I think it takes a tremendous amount of, humility and self-awareness and humbleness to let yourself not be, or to surround yourself with stronger players.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of people's egos can't handle that.
No, a lot of people will play down, right? But that's important. And again, that comes down to friends and business. So
you have a great line about golf.
You want to play with better golfers? Yeah. You don't want to play with a shittier golfer.